Hey Leo, yesterday, all my troubles seemed so far away. Now it seems as though they're here to stay. We're coming from the book of the Beatles. And also later down the line, Boys to Men who remade the song yesterday. And that is a song about regret. It's about rumination of the past, nostalgia. There's a lot to unpack in that song, and that is what Spirit was to focus on today. Because we have a tendency to see things differently. Hindsight is 2020, but sometimes we romanticize things of the past too. So, Leo, I'm Shauna. This is your highest good tarot, and we are focusing on yesterday during this reading. This reading is not for everybody, so keep that in mind, Leo. I'm just saying, let's get started. Spirit, what is the situation Leo focuses on from yesterday? Whether it happened literally yesterday or from further in the past, please show us, Spirit, what the situation is that Leo focuses on for yesterday. Mm. Leo, we have the Two of Cups here. Three of Swords. And the Nine of Cups. At the bottom of the deck, Leo, we have the Two of Wands. Huh. There is a feeling of longing for reunification with this Two of Wands here. That's the energy surrounding, the situation, as well as the fact of I am getting, a romanticized feeling from this. This is about a relationship, a romantic relationship that you have focused on, you've honed in on. Put this to the side. Yeah, behind that is the Seven of Pentacles. This is somebody that you were with for a very hot minute. You invested a good amount of time in that, a good amount of energy, a good amount of love, and you expected to see a a return. Yeah, it, I'm getting that this this was a person that you got with, that you felt was, really heaven sent, divine, but it ended in heartbreak. A little too much was going on, or a lot of too much. I mean, because when we look at the Three of Swords, it's the Three of Swords, right? How many swords does it take to actually stop? If you get one through the heart in the right spot, you don't necessarily need three. So there was a lot of hope that things would turn around. There was a lot of drama, and it Yeah, a lot of wishing that things would even out, that things would come together, that this person would drink a cup of act right, because of the potential, right? It's a lot of cups here with the potential. This person, this, you know, partnership had potential to be great. It had potential to be great. So you stuck around. You kept sowing and sowing and sowing, right? Yeah. What's this Four of Wands? Let's clarify the Nine of Cups and the Four of Wands, please. Four of Wands first. Please clarify the Four of Wands. Yeah, it's like that when we see potential in something. Um, it makes us want to stick around. The Four of Wands is clarified by the Nine of Ten. Excuse me, Ten of Swords. Yeah, you stuck around, and it not only ended in heartbreak, but it ended in betrayal, overkill, doing too much, and it's probably from both sides. To clarify the Nine of Cups, we have the Five of Cups. It is one of those things where we have betrayal and regret here. Kind of like um the song itself. But I feel like this regret is something different. I mean, and not really regret. Yeah, regret. Like you wasted your time. Probably wasted your money, energy. It's giving off that because you finally, the truth hit you in the face. It smacked you in the face and was like, yeah, here I am. But here's the thing, Leo, some soulmates can be karmic, where we're supposed to learn something. Yeah. And regardless of how, this this situation, this relationship ended in betrayal, regardless of how it happened, you know, let's see where your focus should be now. Yeah, let's see where your focus should be now. Where should Leo's focus be now? Where should Leo's focus be now? As opposed to being focused on yesterday, where should Leo's focus be now? Mm, we got victory. We got the Six of Wands. Ooh, Queen of Pentacles. You know, ooh, and at the bottom of the deck, the Ten of Pentacles. So Spirit is saying, as opposed to focusing on what didn't work out, as opposed to focusing on how this person may have hurt you or how things may have gone wrong, whatever it is. And this is not to diminish your feelings. This is about refocusing and not putting so much stock in something that you cannot change, because what has happened has happened. And the energy around this is building legacy, building comfort, building stability, and not just in, your finances, but also throughout your whole life. Because when we are, as a Leo, I know when I feel stable and when I feel, grounded, that's peace. Peace. So that's where the focus needs to be on. So the focus needs to be, this is the Queen of Pentacles, is somebody who is stable. She is prosperous. And this is outside of your gender identity and um, outside of your biological sex. She is somebody who is sees her abundance, because she isn't lacking in anything. Yes, she's lived a life. Yes, she's been hurt. Yes, she survived it. And she learned. It's just like Spirit is showing me Nelson Mandela. You know, I I never lose. I either win or I learn. And this is about recognizing that you survived the heartbreak, you survived the betrayal. And now it's time to build from there. Learn the lessons, but recognize what you have accomplished. It's time to reframe and refocus. It's time to build. And if there were some things that you've done wrong, take accountability. Don't hold on to guilt and shame. Move on. Learn the lesson. Learn the lesson. Because holding on to yesterday, because we got pentacles around here for a reason. Holding on to yesterday can be a blockage, and a blockage for, we are in Mercury retrograde, so forgive my verbiage, but it can be a blockage for your stability. It can be a blockage for your abundance. Holding on to something you can't change. And for I haven't forgotten that we there was that energy of romanticized um, relationship surrounding that relationship. So what we're going to do is, just so you have verification and um, give you confirmation so that you can move forward, is we're going to find out what the energy was surrounding that relationship, just in case you are romanticizing it, because you have your assignment, you have where you should be focused. Let's see, what was the energy surrounding that relationship that Leo is focusing on from yesterday, that relationship where they felt like all their troubles seemed so far away, and now they feel as though they're here to stay. Yes, I'm repeating the words, y'all. um but yeah, we want to get the truth behind the energy surrounding that relationship. And this is going to be here. So watch it as many times as you need to. Come back to it, because every time we read something, every time we see something, we get a new epiphany. What was the energy surrounding that relationship that Leo is focusing on, that brings them nostalgia and perhaps even romanticizing that relationship? What is the energy, the real, true energy of that relationship? Anything else? Anything else? What was the energy surrounding that relationship? Yeah. The first one, avoidant. Avoidant. At the bottom, what it says at the bottom is they keep their distance to feel safe, but it leaves you feeling abandoned. That's not your failure, Leo. It's their fear. Although you put in a lot of energy, a lot of time, a lot of love, you sowed into that relationship. Only they could fix their avoidant attachment. That's their fear, not yours. You consider this person your best friend. And I'm hearing that they did too, you know? You could spend hours doing nothing together and still call it the best day. Just being together is more than enough. And I'm getting that that's what kept you in the loop because of these days. Even though as time went on, they were far and few between. Mm. Family pressure. Family pressure. It says this relationship isn't just between the two of you anymore. Too many outside voices are shaping what should be private. Too many cooks in the kitchen. Whether that was on your side of things, both sides of things, you know. And sometimes it wasn't family, sometimes it was friends. I'm hearing single friends. And it's that energy of I wouldn't let da 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 da, or maybe you just tripping, sowing seeds of doubt when your intuition was telling you something else. Domestic bliss came out. Domestic bliss says there's beauty in the ordinary when it's with the right person. Folding laundry, making coffee, or doing nothing at all. It all feels like home. That is what you can have. That is what you can have. Because as long as this person is in that avoidant attachment, you wouldn't you wouldn't be able to have this with them. And really, spirit is saying domestic bliss starts within because you will recognize somebody who's avoidant. And when you recognize when someone else is avoidant, you don't take on their issues, because it's like, oh, I'm not a fixer. you know, I don't fix things. No, no, no. Mm-mm. No, holler at me when you feel you are ready, when you are ready to, because I am not lacking, but you cannot see that you are not lacking yet. I'm whole. I see your wholeness, but you can't see it. Yeah. Yeah. Let's get some final messages for you here, Leo. So, yeah, this is just to let you know that that relationship, although there were good times, there was a lot going on too, inside and outside of it. So with that That Ace of Swords that came out, see it for what it is. Yes, there were good times, but you can't change people, Leo. You can't change people. Too many people knew what the fuck was going on in your relationship. Final messages for Leo, please. Final messages for Leo. Final messages for Leo. Yeah, too many people knew what was going on. Any advice, final messages for Leo? Any advice or final messages for Leo? Any advice, additional advice rather, final messages for Leo, please. This one came out. There we go. Any final messages? Anything else for Leo? All right, Leo. One fell somewhere. I do. Oh, here it is. Right in my face, y'all. All right. Going forward, Leo, because this one's important. This is something I had to learn as a Leo. Do you want to be right or have peace? It's your choice. Pick and choose your battles. Pick and choose your battles. And that can speak to this too, because you don't need the opinion of everybody or anybody really to validate what has happened, to validate how you are feeling. If you have a therapist, talk to your therapist. But more importantly, talk to your spirit team, talk to the universe, because validation comes from within. When we have a tendency to reach out to those outside of our relationships, that's where the pressure comes. That's where doubt comes. But is this about being right or having peace? What also came out? Last warning. Last warning. Course correction is loading. Some of you are trying to reconnect with this person, and that's what this is coming on about. That time, although that time frame is over, your connection with them may not be, and that's okay, because for some of you, maybe you will reconnect. For others of you, you may never reconnect. However, the warning comes in is, have you learned a lesson? Have you learned a lesson? Have we grown from the situation? What have we learned? Because when we don't learn the lesson, we just end up in the same situation. It could be with the same face or a different face with the same energy. Don't walk, run away. This is really for all of you. Like, it's for everybody. It's time to move on, and move on quickly. You know. And just in case that was unclear, this one came out. Remove your energy. Remove your energy. You know, a lot of times when we focus too much on people and their energy, they circle back around. And that's because we called them, even though nothing has changed within them, because things haven't really changed within us. It's time to remove your energy. And the last one, from your spirit team, from the universe, your angels, your benevolent ancestors. We love you so much and are waiting for you. Surrender. Yeah. That's what I got, Leo. Is that it, Spirit? That's it. True stability starts here, starts with us. And then people will respond in kind. That's it, Leo. I hope this helps. And I hope it helps you for your highest good. Until next time.